Okay, here you go. Your awesome Blesbok Flutarina. This particular key is the only one of its kind in my stock at the moment. The F. Makwam Jiharka is just another Middle Eastern scale amongst many. I just found it on the internet one day, and I was experimenting, and then I played around with it, and then I was just like, oh man, I'm going to do that one. And so this one's super unique. It's the only one of its kind in terms of my stock, and probably as an instrument as well. Super cool, clean, loud sound out of this, which is great. You can just blow like almost any breath pressure and the thing will just do what it's supposed to. Because of the way that I make these mouthpieces, and so it kind of creates this like half ocarina, half flute, half whistle component thing, and it really works. Lots of volume, lots of expressivity. You can have some, depending on your own personal, embouchure and throat and chest technique, you can get a lot of good volume control as well as pitch bending and just a lot of expressiveness, maybe a little vibrato depending on your own techniques. So this is a really cool piece because of that. Little heads up on everything: black walnut, maple, white walnut, which is butternut, and then cedar, and then another black walnut piece up here. Really dense, crisp sound coming out of the sound chamber in here. So that's because of the black walnut. It's really nice, tight poured, like medium density wood. Let's see, the fingering. There's a thumb hole in the back. There's also a tone hole. Make sure the tone hole is always open and like nothing's blocking it when you're playing. So standard like Native American style flute holding capabilities. So your right hand on the bottom three, left hand on the top three with thumb hole in the back. Okay. Kind of rests relatively easily in the hands. It's not super awkward. I tried to work with the curvature of the piece so that it was the most comfortable and ergonomic. A lot of the times when I make these, I do that on purpose to make sure that not only is the instrument fun to look at, but it's the most comfortable to hold, even because they're such awkward shapes. So I always try to pull out the best possible design to make them function better. So the scale climb is as follows, which is 0 is resting position, all holes closed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 in the back. And depending on half holing and opening other holes while certain holes are closed, you might find other notes that are in the phrasing that work. That's all experimentation. Have fun with that. As for the general playability of this instrument, this is how it sounds one more time without effects, so you can hear its clean volume. You could put a lot of pressure into this thing. Not like certain types of flutes won't allow you to do that. So this one's really cool. So it's got this like kind of interesting like climb. It sounds slightly minor and slightly major at the same time. It's not like super uplifty, like, but it's also not mega melancholy. So like it kind of sits in between both of them. A lot of fun like little variations and arpeggiations you can create by climbing up and down the phrasing of the flute. As for maintenance, wipe it down with, if you want to, it's already got some layers on it, but wipe it down with any oil, like, olive oil, walnut oil, linseed oil, and then just buff it off with a dry cloth. I like to use carnauba wax on most of my flutes and instruments. I buff carnauba wax on them. You can get them at most hardware stores in the wood area where they have, like, different types of stains and sealants and things like, if you're looking for, different types of lacquer and random things to put on wood, the carnauba wax is normally in those areas. It's in a little tub or a tin, and it's got like a little pad, like as if you were going to wax your car. So carnauba wax is your friend, and then buff the carnauba wax off with a dry cloth. The antler or the horn is like Gorilla Glued inside of this wooden piece, so it's like really, really like locked in there. So you won't have any trouble whatsoever. Waxed cord, wax linen cord as the binder for the fetish block. Use the chimney style Fipple mouthpiece here to block the wind in case you want to play it outside. So that's about it on this guy. It's awkwardly shaped, so I'm gonna have to maybe even create a box for it. But I'll try to ship it out on Monday, and I'll shoot you the tracking number when I do so. After this video is over, I will wipe it down with a mouthpiece and the rest of the flute body with rubbing alcohol and sanitize it for you. And yep. So good luck and have fun. And this thing's great. I'm really happy that you're going to be the recipient of this super cool flute. So be well, and thank you so much for supporting me and my craft. It means a lot to me. Thank you.